Hi, folks. The Manhattan Project was quite an event. It was a development of atomic power that no one could have seen or foreseen. It was the place where the atomic bomb that was used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was developed. But there's a little history that many people don't know about. You see, this project itself was not originally intended to go after Japan. It was originally the response of the United States to what was believed to be German advances in nuclear technology. It was believed that the Germans were trying to develop a nuclear weapon. And so in 1939, FDR, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, formed what was called the Advisory Council on Uranium. Now, this council included people like Eric Enrico Fermi and Leo Szilard of Columbia University. They were involved with radioactive isotope separation, or in other words, uranium enrichment. Radioactive isotope separation. They were studying that, they were researching that. Now, as time passed, and remember, this was a response to the Germans and the belief that they were going all the way with their weaponry. You had in 1940, that name was changed to the National Defense Research Committee. And then soon after that, 1941, it became the Office of Science and Research Development. This is as the war was raging on and as more and more concerns were happening in terms of what was going to be done by Germany. Most work was done in Los Alamos, New Mexico. That's what the curious thing is. It's called the Manhattan Project, and it did have work done in Manhattan, but majority of the work was done in Los Alamos because that is where you could test things out in the desert. Anyway, the advisory, most work, the Army Corps of Engineers was introduced into it in 1942, and that's, you have to understand, 1941, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. We got into the war in full activity, full throttle. And at that time, the Army Corps of Engineers were joined in with the OSRD, and that was in 1942, and then became the Manhattan Engineer District in 1942. It was led by U.S. Army Colonel Leslie Gordon. Leslie, you know what? I can't read my own writing. I'll have to get back. Leslie, I can't read his name. Gates. Leslie R.L. Gates, is it? Anyway, I'll check it out for you. I can't read my own writing. So Fermi and Szilard were still studying chain reaction at the University of Chicago, and Glenn Seaborg was studying, also doing some nuclear studies as well. So you had a lot of people involved. Oh, I think it's Groves, excuse me, Colonel Leslie R. Groves. I believe that's his name, Leslie R. Groves. Anyway, the project continued because the war continued. And in 1943, you eventually saw what was called Los Alamos Laboratory, established in January 1943. Robert Oppenheimer was involved with what was called Project Y. And this was about working on making nuclear fusion. And then the Los Alamos Laboratory was established in 1943, January. And then July 16th, 1945, near Alamogordo, New Mexico, was the first successful bomb detonation called the Trinity Test. So as you can see, there was a progression of events, a progression of studies, a progression of research, to which the point in 1945 we saw the dropping of the bomb on Hiroshima and then Nagasaki. The question is, we look back on that and see how the world changed. Because remember, It was Harry Truman who did not want to drop the bomb. Franklin Delano Roosevelt had already passed away. Harry Truman did not want to drop the bomb because he was afraid of what could happen. And even after that, he felt terrible because so many lives were lost. But it is believed by most historians that without the bomb, Japan would have refused to surrender. So the Manhattan Project was kept secret. It was not told but talked to about anybody. And as a result, this bomb, even the person who flew the airplane that had the bomb on it and dropped it, did not know what he was doing in terms of what he was dropping. He was just told, go up there, take the plane up, and drop the bomb. And he did. And as they say, the rest is now history. Thanks for watching.